Warning, the following video contains scenes of hunting and fishing. Yuppies, beware. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Outdoor Adventures with Cody Drury. I'm your host, the Camo Commander, Cody Drury, and we've got a great show here for you tonight. Not only are we going to sit there and take a look at this past year's hunting season, like we have on previous episodes here at Outdoor Adventures, but I also decided to film this past season's fishing as well. And not only that, we've got some surprise guests here on the show today. As far as, I got to film some of my family members doing hunting and fishing stuff as well. And it was, just a very memorable year this year as far as being with them and everything. So without further ado, let's get started. Well, it's my first hunt this 2022-2023 season here. It's Labor Day, September. I got a dove hunt. Got drawn for a dove hunt, so we just got out here a little bit ago, and we're going to see what happens. Wish us luck. And as you could tell there, ladies and gentlemen, that did not sound good. We actually were shooting some bad shells. We found out come later they're, corroded and that. They got wet. Didn't really know it. And if you're keeping tally so far, I'm like 0 for 3 there, it seems like, at least. Don't worry, I'll lose count, I promise. And I think that's like, what, 0 for 6 now, something like that. You can tell I'm getting a little impatient. Also, trying to shoot at doves, flying through the air, it's definitely not as easy as professionals make it look.
Especially the way
and I'm no
shooting.
Professional, that's for sure.
Go out front.
You can tell I'm getting a little frustrated. I think that makes 0 for 9 at least now. Definitely need to go practice a little bit, it seems like. Oh for 10. As luck would have it, I finally got on the board with one.
Thanks. I saw where it went. Huh? Oh shit. I'll
And
sit
as you
with
could
you.
hear there,
Hang on a sec.
as you
let
could
me
hear
get
there,
the
my
bird.
dad's gun was misfiring again. We found out later it's because of them bad shells or whatever. So I decided to go sit with him after I picked up my bird, and now we're gonna see if he gets any shooting in here. Sounds like he's getting a little frustrated too. And you can kind of hear us chit-chatting in there. I decided to sit just a little bit behind him. We're down to the one gun now, so decided to let him shoot for a while. He's doing about as good as I am, as you can hear. And yeah, another couple misses. That was pretty much about it for our dove hunting that year, for last year. Let's go into bow season.
First bow hunt of hunting season 2022. And today is October 12th. October 12th. And sit out here for a couple hours. I guess about an hour so far. See a couple of does. Got one real late getting set up and everything. But otherwise, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. It's a little rainy, a little windy, but it should still be a good one. So let's see what happens. Wish me luck.
And as you can see there, we had a young doe in the field there. And, she's looking around. She's acting like she don't like something out there. I don't know if she smelled me or if it's just because it seems to be a little bit windy at the time. But she's definitely on high alert.
And there she goes. It's all part of hunting, though. You win some, you lose some. And that was a little bit later on in the day. And you can just tell with the way the wind was. I mean, you can see my camera shaking, my burlap moving all around. Definitely a very windy day up there. But here goes the next day on 10/13. And what you guys don't see here is, I got the camera on me right now, but I'm getting ready. I'm see a deer. Sitting there trying to wait for the right time to sit there and draw back on it. It's a doe, as you'll see here in just a second. So let's see what happens. And you can't really tell there. Here you can watch me actually shoot and release the arrow there, but I missed. I didn't get the tact cam up high enough on that, so you really couldn't see that I actually missed there. But it's a clean shot. I shot just above her, and that was it for that day.
It's October 22nd, 2022. It's my first official day of vacation here. We're going to be out doing a lot of bow hunting this week for deer and turkey. So far, I've been sitting out here for maybe about an hour to about half an hour of shoot time right now. Haven't seen anything, and I'm not really expecting a lot today because it's going to be unseasonably warm. It's going to be like a high 84 or something like that today. So I'm wishing for the best, hoping for the best. So wish me luck. Well, it is evening hunt here on October the 22nd. It's about 5 o'clock. It's incredibly warm out here for this time of year. It's like 84, I think, for the high today. So I'm really not expecting to see too much, but I'm on vacation, so you can't beat that. But so far I haven't seen nothing. Been out here for a little while now. Hopefully we can get the job done tonight, but I just don't know. Wish me luck.
And those of you that know, I do not like the warm weather, especially when it's hunting. I work in the freezer most of my time when I'm not hunting, and I really like it cold. So, but that was yesterday. Let's take a look and see what happens here on the very next day. Looks like we got a gobbler in the field here. And what I decided to do, I decided to switch it up a little bit and sit there and go turkey hunting, because it was turkey hunting. I'm sitting over the same spot, but I figured I'd give the deer a little bit of a break here. I'm sitting there ranging the turkey there, but I decided to go on a shotgun turkey hunt instead. And let's just see what happens here. And there's a live action shot. You can hear me cuss for a minute, but I missed there. They definitely got a little nervous and started flying. I think I kind of spooked them when I sat there and was reaching for the gun, but they kind of caught me off guard there. But you always got to be ready. And really, besides this possum walking through, there wasn't really a whole lot going on for, a couple of days. I saw the spike. I mean, I was sitting out there just kind of seeing what was going on. I mean, and a couple of two other deer walked by. As you can tell, a couple of does. I wasn't ready. A couple of wish me lucks later. And let's fast forward to the 29th.
Just couldn't quite get the shot.
And this morning seemed like it was a fairly good morning, a little bit colder. Got a couple of does here, and you'll see here in just a second, bucks coming up with them, and why don't we see what happens here.
But
And as you can see, another missed opportunity. I screwed up. I should have. You can tell I'm getting very aggravated at this point. I missed an opportunity. But let's go into rifle season. Alright, we're here. Got the truck loaded up. It's full of shit in here. And heading up for rifle season for deer tomorrow. So, sitting in here with my brother Nick. We're going to put the tunes on. And we're going to have a fun time.
it's opening day here. Rifle season for deer 2022. And it's November 12th, 2022. As you can fucking do so far, it's barely shoot time. So it's super cold out, which is what I love. And waiting to see if we can't get the job done. We're sitting out here all day, so wish me luck.
And that's one of my absolute favorite times to sit out there all day is opening day of rifle season here in Missouri. And as you can tell, there's a younger doe out in front of me. And and there's the second one with her. It's a fairly cold day out, and usually that gets a deer up and moving. One of these days maybe I'll learn, but I usually sit there and wait for a buck until the next day, and just as I say the word buck, here comes one. Let's see what happens. And as you can tell, I sat there and I jumped the gun a little bit. Moved to the other camera. I shot, I missed, and it's like 2 years ago all over again. In 2020, as we see the replay here, I had the same damn thing happen to me. And I always told myself I was never going to let it happen again. But obviously, that just wasn't the case. You just get that buck fever sometimes. All of a sudden, you get caught off guard. I shoot, as you can hear. Shot again. And yeah, it just wasn't a good turn of events there so far. I was not having the best of luck this year. And I was just very aggravated at myself with the way things turned out. And here I was ready to go this time. Every deer after that, this was this later that evening. I was sitting there ready to go. Ready for deer to pop out, and I'm sitting there. I moved everything off to the left because I saw these deer up in them woods out front there, and I'm sitting there ready to go, and I see that here comes a spike. And like I was saying earlier, I think you can't shoot spikes. They're not in season. They're not old enough. The rack, if they're a buck, need to be 4 points or bigger if there's any antlers showing. And I was sitting there froze for a while in one stance because I did not want to sit there and spook them. They were within 20 yards. See, here's the second one that I was talking about as well, too. But I want to say I was probably in the same spot sitting there for probably about 10 minutes while they passed through so they wouldn't see me. And, yeah, I was a little bit aggravated there. Same deer there, as you can see. I just switched cameras, but, yeah, it was, a little frustrating, but if it was called killing, if you killed one all the time, it'd be called killing, not hunting, as I always like to say and remind everybody. So that's what was going on thus far. As you can see, thus far I haven't killed anything yet, but that might all be about to change here on the very next day. It was the very last day we were going to get to rifle hunt for the 2022 rifle season there. So let's see what happens. And boom, dropped the deer right in the tracks on the very last morning that we are going to be able to be up there for the, the regular firearms season here.
Finally, on the last morning, just a couple hours before about ready to leave, I dropped a doe right in her tracks right over there. Super pumped.
Well, took to the last day, but I finally got some meat on the table here. Ended up shooting this button buck and dropped him right where I laid. I typically don't like to shoot button bucks, but I couldn't really tell from the stand. So, but anyways, glad to finally be on the board this year as far as killing a deer. So, and now we're gonna go fast forward a little bit. Duck season hasn't been the best for us here the past numerous amount of years, so I kind of just put a quick compilation together of a bunch of different days going. As you can tell, one of us smoked them.
Is that you or me? No, we're both shooting.
I mean, y'all, I got a little bit better. You can even see I tried practicing here, but my duck calling did not get that much better this year.
Wow, that sounds even worse than I thought it was when I put this in the video.
I mean, I guess there's always next year, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just hopeless at this point.
And that's why I leave the main calling up to my dad and my uncle at this point. But hey, I'll work on it, that's for sure. And there's another 0 for 3. Again, at the new year, though, we were successful to get that bird. I think that one was my shot. I was hunting with my dad and my uncle.
Here.
And we decided to send Gus out, who decided to come help us out.
Good
He was
boy.
doing a great job out there bringing ducks in to me. I went out there with
That's a
him.
good boy. All the way back. Let's go.
Alright, well, we're here, Duck Creek. It's the new year, January 4th, on my reservation. And so far, as you can see here, we got a drake, and my dad shot a hen. He's a hen slayer.
Uncle Bob got nothing.
Uncle Bob's got nothing over there, but it's our first sunny day down here. We're gonna see if we can get a few more in here. Wish us luck. And folks, if you haven't figured it out by now, wish us luck, wish me luck. We definitely need a lot of luck, but that here's become my catchphrase. And as you can tell, we sure didn't have enough luck there, because we didn't get that one. Did I mention we're not necessarily the professional hunters here? That was with my brother there.
Oh, I had one selling.
And now we switch to Missouri antlerless firearms season here back in 2022. Well, it's changed up. I was on duck hunting trip all week, and we weren't doing very good with that. So we decided to change it up. Had just enough time to come back, regroup, repack the truck, get a haircut and a beard trim. And now we're back up here this evening and hoping I can't get a doe. It's Missouri antlerless portion for firearms this year, so I'm going to try in the next few days to try and get a doe, get some more meat on the table. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. And that was exactly what I needed there, with some luck. And you can see here comes a doe going across the creek here. And why don't we just see what happens here? And another perfect shot. Dropped her right there on the ground. And I'm not lying. I'll probably say it here in a minute. That was probably one of my biggest does to date. It's like about an hour and a half since I was sitting in the stand. I mean, a little rushed. We were duck hunting, and that wasn't going so hot, so basically came back home, regrouped, had enough time to shave the beard and get a haircut. Then we came right back up here. It's Friday, December 9th, 2022. It's in the middle of Missouri antlerless portion for firearms. So, got a few more days here, whatever, but I was out here about an hour, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, this is the first doe I saw, first deer I saw even, and it came out here, I don't know, maybe 50 yards at most, towards the left, and I dropped her right where I laid her, right here. Good big doe. Nice to have some more meat on the ground for 2022 hunting season here in Missouri. Super pumped. And let me tell you, I definitely have a lot on the table now. Well, I tagged out last night, so now I'm sitting here being cameraman with my brother, Nick. He's side of the camera, Nick. Hi. And we're sitting here, out here in this stand over in the field right now with the woods back behind us. Gonna see if we can't sit here and get a doe here for him here in antlerless season for Missouri firearms. Today is December 10th, 2022, and still pretty early yet, so I guess we'll see what happens. Wish us luck. And it's always a fun time sitting there hunting with my brother. There's a lot of footage we cut out because it's just a lot of fun, and it really didn't pertain to what we're trying to do here. But we see a nice 8-pointer there, and then one gets up. Gets a little doe, it looked like, got up while my brother actually had to get down the ladder and try and go to the bathroom. I saw it. And scared that doe we didn't even see. We think she was bedding down. I saw the tail bouncing in the woods over there. But that was pretty much it for that hunt with my brother. Well, I'm sitting here. It's Saturday, December 10th, 2022. I'm sitting here with my dad because I tagged out yesterday, so I get to be the cameraman now. He saw a couple things this morning down here, so I came back down here to see if we can't get the job done here tonight. Got anything to add? Give me some good luck. I need it. Wish us luck. And he's never even really, I mean, he's watched videos of my stuff before, but he never knew that that was necessarily the catchphrase, and he nailed it pretty much big time. We had a lot of fun on this hunt too. But see the squirrel there, and we're just sitting out there in the stand. And here comes the deer, so let's see what happens. Looks like a doe. That did go through. Oh, okay, there's another one. Oh, man. Nice job. And I'm not a professional, obviously. I jumped big time.
Alright, this is my first deer on camera. I was hunting with my son Cody. He saw the deer coming through. There were two of them. Took a shot on the second one. Put him down. Put her down. So it was an awesome hunt. First one on camera. A little nervous, I guess. I shot a little high, but did the job. So.
And that was great job, Dad. First time, I was super happy.
So, being the cameraman on my dad's hunt there that you just saw is a really great memory. I really like that I got to sit there and successfully film a hunt for somebody else for the first time ever. And that's a memory I'm going to look back. I always loved hunting with family members, really love hunting with my dad, so the fact that we got to sit together and I got to record it on camera was just super special.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's spring turkey season for 2023. Opened up earlier this week, but I was able to get one day off to be able to come up here. So I left after work and decided to come up here for the evening, do a little bit of fishing, and then we're going to try and hunt and try and get a gobbler tomorrow, so see how it goes. But as for now, we're going to fish. Wish me luck, or should I say, fish me luck. And he ain't very big, but we finally have some success here. Well, it's spring turkey season, and things aren't necessarily going to plan right now. We're sitting out here on our buckets up against the stand we were gonna hunt, because didn't end up checking it, and the floor kind of fell through a little bit. It wasn't very braced, but we're improvising here. So far we've seen one deer, and hopefully we can get the turkeys coming. We heard one goblin this morning already, but I guess we'll see. Wish us luck. And folks, yeah, we definitely were not having the best luck. Like I said, that stand fell, and really the only thing we saw was that doe right there. But if you stick around here, we got a short word from me, and then we're gonna get to the fishing.
Hey y'all, are you behind on episodes of Outdoor Adventures with Cody Drury? Or maybe you just don't want to miss the next episode? Feel free to like and subscribe my YouTube page at Codeman1207.
We're out here fishing at the lake. First time out here this year for myself. Just started maybe about 45 minutes ago if we're lucky. Caught a little bit of little fish. My dad's got one crappie, and I guess we'll see what we do. Might get a little bit of rain here, but that's April for you. It's April 27th, so see what we can do here. And guys, I was super pumped to sit there and actually finally get to film fishing in the boat, just fishing in general. I have this camera mount that's like a vest almost. You just strap the camera to your chest. I strap the GoPro, and as you can see there, I got a Kentucky bass there. Got something here. Bass. Looks like I got another bass here. But so far, nothing over 15 inches, which is what we call a keeper. And we got this rule typically between me and my dad, or if my uncle goes or whatever. But we got bets for we make to see who can get like the biggest keeper bass, most keeper bass, or if anything like that, or the first one for that matter. And so far I was trying a little bit, but I was definitely not on the board. I wasn't even bass fishing there. I was
Today wasn't
crappie fishing.
Yep.
But that's just a lot of, you know, I'll call it a compilation, I guess, if you will, of our fishing. But
Ready.
that day we decided to switch it up, go to a different spot here out on the Ozarks, and we decided to take a boat ride. This part might have been a little unnecessary to film, but I just kind of wanted to see what it looked like riding the boat on camera for
got one.
the first time.
It's got real heavy. Yeah. Coppers. Nice
And
crappie.
got some crappie in the boat. That's what we're looking for here. The bass is for the money, so to speak, but the crappie
Out
is,
on
you
the
know,
side
for
there.
good eating for us. So
I switched when I saw that bush. I still had this unhooked and ready to go. I decided to try. Way out by the rocks over there.
for those of you who wonder what kind of boat we
Tried to get
got
one
there, it's
catch
a
down there.
Bass Cat
Wasn't that
Pantera.
small? I'm like, well,
We got it a few years ago or whatever, and does great for us.
Don't think I need
That was a good sized crop there. They got to be at least 9 inches for us to keep. So
buddy.
we do measure most of our fish, but that one we could definitely tell was way over.
Crappie. Yep.
So we were not having a bad day here, that's for sure. I don't know that we limited out there, but definitely we're getting some meat on the table, if you will. And here, you know, you just get to kind of see what fishing like me kind of looks like, if you will. Not necessarily the most visual TV, but almost kind of like one of them video games. And there's another little bass there. Definitely won't make the keeper board, that's for sure. And my dad ended up getting a crappie here. That was like the one time I filmed him that he wasn't going to make a show for me, because let me tell you, sometimes them crappie go in that little measuring thing that he just had there, and they love to flap around and get out and sit there and flail on the floor or whatever, and trying to watch my dad pick them up, or whether it happens to me too or whatever. It's, you know, it definitely is just a little entertaining, at least, you know, from my point of view. And my dad had reeled something in, and sure enough, there's a catfish there. That was bonus, because like I said, we were just crappie fishing, but they do like to bite on that Roadrunner jig we're using there.
Hey, is what? I was kind of wondering when we were going to. I heard Uncle Bob say the cat's kind of low.
Definitely not a bad catfish. Alright, well today is May the 10th. We are out here fishing out on the lake, an undisclosed location, and we're off to a good start so far. We down here for a couple days. I had a bass on, didn't quite make it in the boat, and my dad's got a walleye so far, so we will see what we can catch here. Wish us luck. I should have said fish us luck again. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, I got a fish on.
But I don't ever like to give away my locations, because then y'all are going to
That's awesome.
one day
I
sit
was
there
sitting
and
there, I had
there's going to be 50
blackouts
boats out there one day, and we won't be able to go to our
Maybe.
spots. I'm just kidding about that, of course, but I don't really like giving away my
Should
locations.
be coming up here in a
As you
second.
can see here, I'm fighting something.
See him? Shit. There we go. Oh, good. 'cause
And it was just a bass.
might
He
eat.
wasn't quite a keeper, though. So, and as you can see now, I'm moving because my dad's got something. And it ends up being he ends up catching a walleye.
That's how you know the
Had to give him trouble because one of my fish got off earlier, and he wasn't there with the net. You know, it was kind of my fault too. But yeah. And as you can see here, he's sitting there putting up a pretty good fight with the fish. And we didn't really know what it was at first. We thought maybe it was like a big carp or, you know, like a we didn't really think it was a catfish, but it ran out there a ways. I didn't film the whole time because I thought I wasn't thinking about it first, and then I knew I was going to get the net. But I'm like, well, I got time for a minute because that fish ran way out there. And then you can see it there. It ended up being a white bass, and
1.5.
1.5 kilograms. So it's probably gonna be.
it
over
ended up being
2
a little over
pounds.
3 pounds.
Maybe 3 pounds. I'll see.
Ended up being over 3. I calculated on my phone. I don't know what happened with the scale that time, why we couldn't sit there and get to read pounds, but we had to do it in kilograms, as you heard there.
I might.
And then it just kind of seemed like the crappie were turn on there. We both got a double there. So, not that there's ever really a bad day out on the lake, but we were definitely doing good that day.
Back to lake unknown and parts unknown. And we're out here, this is day 2 of our little trip here. Both of us are already on the board. My dad got a little bitty bass. And I got a drum. And so far we just started maybe about 5-6 minutes ago. See what we can't catch today. Ooh, there we go.
As you can tell, we're having a good time. I'm sitting there laughing. We're telling jokes. You know, that's just kind of what we're all about. And as you can see, I end up getting a fish to bite.
Nice.
And it ended up being another catfish.
In the boat.
Just more meat in the boat, as I just said.
Here we go.
And we finally started to get into some crappie here that day. It was a little rough going at first, but ended up getting by these trees. It was a hotter day. And they just kind of started floating in the boat a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we ever reached our limit necessarily, which is 15 per person. Like I said earlier, they gotta be 9 inches long at least, but you know, just started pulling them in kind of left and right here a little bit.
There we go. Nice.
Had another double there, as you can see. He had a little bluegill, or no, he had a little crappie. I don't think it was gonna make it.
I think mine will keep. There we go.
And I'm apologizing now. I need to do something with that squeaky reel because it was starting to annoy me out there even. But as you can tell, just kind of crappie left and right in the boat there. And like I said, another great day on the lake. Not that there's ever a bad day out on the lake.
That's for sure.
Alright, y'all. So this next footage you're about to see is from a trout fishing trip that I had here earlier this year. And, you know, I went with some of my family and that. And it's a place I've been going to since I was like 4 years old. Really special to me. I was really happy I got to bring the camera out with the GoPro for the first time this year. So without further ado, let's go look at it.
What's up, y'all? Getting ready to fish here. First morning here down at Bent Springs Trout Fishing Park. Buzzer goes off about half hour, so we'll see what we can catch. Wish me luck. Here we go.
And as you can hear, you can kind of hear it faintly in the background as a siren. You know, we call it the buzzer. But it goes off every morning at the same time, depending on the month.
There we go.
And, you know, there's a whole bunch of people that just stand in line here. We're weighted in the water. I got my waders on. And you just stand in a line, and it's just kind of like a feeding frenzy. And, I mean, that's why normally at a trout park like this, you know, you sit there and you fly fish and that. But with everyone so close together and as, you know, hot as the fish are when it starts to, when the siren goes off or whatever, it's like you just want to try and be as quick as possible. We put on this lure that we've used for years and years and years, and usually it just does a trick there. You can see it's like a black and yellow marabou jig. And like I said, it's just usually like a feeding frenzy. I had a lot of footage on this, but it just didn't make the cut. You know, can only want to put so much. You guys have been watching long enough, I feel like. that I don't need to make this thing, don't need to show every single fish I catch all the time.
Not quite big enough that I want to start keeping yet.
But as you can see, I was having a decent morning because I'm just pulling them in.
What'd you say, Nick?
And this one gave me a little bit of a fight here too.
He's got the length, just no body.
Guy's a little skinny guy. Here we are, fly fishing now, as you can see.
Huh?
It's definitely an interesting rig to sit there and put the GoPro on with I also wear a fishing vest when I'm trout fishing. I keep all my lures in it, and definitely an interesting video. I only film the mornings because that's when usually the most action happens. But as you can see there, I ended up catching one on the fly rod.
Dead.
Very tiny one. We'll call that half a fish there.
A little whopper.
And you can kind of see there, my bobber went under.
There we go.
And that's all I do. You just kind of wait for the bobber to go under and you just start reeling them in. And how you reel in fly fishing, or at least how we do it, is it's kind of like a curtain. You just keep pulling the actual line back in. And, it's a lot of fun. This fish is putting up a good fight, trying to go down the stream there. So it's a little hard pulling them up against the current there, but all in all, it's a lot of fun. You can see I'm getting my net there. I only net the ones that I'm going to keep. I don't even necessarily net all of them, but this guy seemed like he's a decent sized one, as you'll see here in a minute probably.
Come on.
And this place is definitely one of my favorite places to go. It's the only place I've ever been trout fishing before. And you can see there, I ended up successfully netting the fish.
Real nice. It's a bonus one too. I think it's got big. I think he's a bonus fish. Oh, no, he's just
Decent
got a-
size there.
Never mind. So he just got skin. This is a nice fish.
And that pretty much does it, I'd say, for this episode.
Well, that's our show. As you can tell, I've had a very memorable year this past 2022-2023 hunting/fishing seasons. So tune in next year for an all-new episode of Outdoor Adventures with Cody Drury. Until then, wish me luck.